It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and we are excited to be back here on your screens to help you begin on a very bright note. Today's episode of Good Morning Abuja, we will be talking about various topics ranging from the flooding situation in the FCT to the Flora Business in the Abuja, in the city of Abuja. And let's not forget about our entertainment segment, where we'll be talking to an actress, producer, and a musician. We have so much packaged for you.
And of course, my name is Simeon Sunday. So, kicking off your day, let's take this motivational talk from Miriam Boker telling you, yes, you can.
Hello everyone. So today I'm not here to bore you with so much talk. It's a poem and it's titled Yes You Can, and this poem just highlights and motivates people that they can do so much with their lives. It has a bit of Hausa in it. So here goes. I can't do it. I'm too young to see beyond. No, I can't do it. I'm too old for a future to hold. No, I can't do it. I'm short. Climbing onto the wall will lead to a drastic fall. I can't do it. My past isn't a good cast. They all said as I listened with keen ears, different views pointing to one major point: the fear of failure, discovering something new as it could be a mania, a sense of growth to a new idea. But have you heard of King Na, a 12-year-old motivational speaker, giving life to young souls? You can call him a keeper. Have you heard of Heartland Sanders? Had every right to give up because of so much blunders. At age 88, he made it. Through the freedom to fail, he nailed it. He's dead at sight, but not in the taste buds, because the KFC you crave, he created. So where is the question of age? For however age, there are people searching for inspiration, and that can just be you. Have you heard of our very own Laboyari? To zauna ka ji labari, danga ilimi ya zama ƙari, da shi aka yaƙi jahilci na fari. Inspiration ga masu neman ilimi babban jari, call him tauraron taurari. Several years working in areas, through patience and diligence he gained recognition. Undeniable in the nation. I salute you, O man of conviction. Walking slow shouldn't make your confidence low, for life is an endless struggle. Just don't stop the hustle. Don't fear the fall, fear staying on the ground. But no matter how many times you fall, never call the ground home. People talk about the future but fail to realize you're living in the future that becomes past with every second that passes by. If you do not grab the reins and make the change today, then indeed you're wasting the future. Thank you.
You're welcome back. And of course, to health tips of such is pneumonia. So we have Dr. Osagi telling us more about that.
Pneumonia is a disease of the lungs too. Also inflammation of the lung parenchyma, that is pneumonia. And this pneumonia, can be caused by so many things, from virus, bacteria, fungi, and even parasites causing pneumonia. And of course, the characteristic way pneumonia manifests is this: you have high-grade fever. So the patient with pneumonia is not going to have very low-grade fever. Has high-grade fever, that is, we're having chills, okay? And then you see that the patient is coughing and producing what we call rusty brown sputum. So when the patient is coughing and bringing out rusty brown sputum, most likely that they were dealing with pneumonia. And of course, this patient also complain of chest, pain. Because this kind of pain is characteristic. We call it pleuritic chest pain. You see people, an adult with these three classical symptoms, well, this is most likely pneumonia. Okay? But for children, they may not present classically like that. Children, you see that a child that was feeding before is no longer feeding well, and you see that the breath is fast, just because when the child cough, is most likely going to swallow the sputum, so you may not see the sputum. So you suspect that this child may have pneumonia. And so for both cases, we will do chest X-ray. And of course, you have to take the sputum and go to the lab, and then analyze it. Which bacteria are you dealing with? Commonly, you have strep pneumonia, which is very common. Okay? But you can have other bacteria, Haemophilus influenza, even staphylococcus, and all sorts of bacteria. Therefore, virus, you can have all sorts of virus, constructive virus and all that. And of course, even we are beginning to see parasites, affecting, causing pneumonia, and even fungi. You are beginning to see them causing pneumonia. And of course, we have some atypical pneumonia caused by Legionella, Mycoplasma, Chlamydia, and of course, some organisms can also present in an atypical form. Even Mycobacterial tuberculosis can present like pneumonia. How do you get prone to pneumonia? Because if you are exposed to individuals with pneumonia and it's expectorating, and then you get exposed to this aerosols, and sputum that contains this organism, and then you inhale it, most likely, and of course, if your defense system is bad, you will likely come down with pneumonia. And of course, it will come on in a crowded environment. Of course, it will come on, particularly some seasons too, like now, the dry season. It's also, you may have people coming down more with pneumonia. People die from pneumonia, but it depends on the organism that caused the pneumonia, and it depends on the stage at which you arrest the patient, okay? And also depend on the intervention that you're going to put. The good news about pneumonia is that it is treatable. Get the patient early and treat early. And of course, pneumonia is also preventable. So that is why we advocate the use of vaccines. In fact, currently, you have vaccine for everybody, all age groups. You can have vaccine. So you have pneumococcal vaccine even for routine immunization. Pneumococcal vaccines have become integrated into it. So I say thanks to the federal government and your government for that. So, but my own advice is that parents must take advantage of this and get it. For elderly people, you can also take pneumococcal vaccines that prevents them from, of course, reduce the incidence of pneumonia.
That was our health tips segment. Welcome back to Good Morning Abuja. Now we'll be talking about the rains. This is September, and like most of us are aware of, this is the peak of the raining season, and we would never stop, we never get tired of creating awareness about the flooding situation in the FCT. And with us in the studio to also shed more light about this situation is the Director General of the FCT Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, Mr. Abbas Idris. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Welcome once again. Let me add that.
All right, so like I rightly said, this is the peak of the raining season, and we will never stop creating awareness about flooding. So like he said, welcome back once again, but we need you to still re-emphasize on the issue of flooding in the FCT. For those people that have missed the other previous times that you have been here talking about flooding and they're just watching for the first time. So please re-emphasize on the issue about flooding.
In fact, not only the peak of the raining season, this time is the peak of the flood.
Wow.
We are expecting a very devastating flooding from this September, any moment from now, and that is river flooding. What we were dealing with was flash flooding within the city, and as a result of urbanization. Now we are expecting water from about 9 countries.
Wow.
On its way
into
coming to Nigeria and passing to go and lodge at Lokoja. So those by the rivers of Niger and Benue are more on the red line now. But FCT, because of the neighborhood to Niger, a neighborhood to Nasarawa, neighborhood to Kaduna, and also neighborhood to Kogi, we have to also be on red alert to be able to really prepare ourselves for any eventuality. The alert is on, and then the river management specialists are managing the water and communicating with all the countries to see when is it leaving where and to where and at what level.
Wow. So far in this year, 2020, we have experienced a lot of casualties as a result of flooding compared to previous years. So what can be attributed to this? What is the cause of this? And how best can we prepare? As you have just mentioned that we should be expecting a very devastating flood this time, especially this month.
Yeah, you see, apart from the 5 families that were swept up at Giri, the rest, I can say it was due to non-adherence to early warning, impatience. So we need to change our attitude because, like I was saying last time I was here, that you don't drive through a running water. You have to wait for the water to go because it is a flash flooding. It's not like you are crossing a river. But most of the people, like I said, apart from those families that were swept up, all of them died as a result of that recklessness, of not waiting to allow the water to pass. They drove on the water and they also walk. Some of them walk.
So they got swept away.
And you have seen a viral video that somebody just parked and then went into the water to cross and he lost his life. We got the body after 2 days of such. So it is on that, and I would insist on urging and calling on the residents of the FCT that they should strictly abide by the early warning. We should be patient enough. We should change our attitude, at least to respect the water itself. Let it come and go, and then we can now have access.
Okay, now let's talk about one of the early issues of flooding. Like you rightly mentioned, urbanization. So what would you say for people who want to, now we're having a lot of people coming to the FCT. So what would you say they should do and they should not do in terms of urbanization and causing flooding, in the later
the major
years?
thing is that, development is synonymous with constructions and infrastructural development as well. We cannot say you should stop building houses, but when you are building, you must make sure that you follow the guideline, the building codes. In each approved building plan, there is areas where the water must pass through from your house and getting access, linking to somewhere it's going to be discharged. So people should follow that guidelines strictly, and we should avoid, don't say because yes, they have given you a piece of land and there's another just piece of land about 100 or 150 meters, you want to increase it. There is a reason why the expert left that land. Don't increase it, just build according to your own plan. Because by the time you extend it, you don't know whether you are extending on a very big ocean. You don't know. It might come and clear your house and your family entirely. So just build according to the plan. And then we should also avoid always, like we said, dumping refuse. That refuse that we see, we thought by throwing away can is just a simple thing. No, it goes there and then block somewhere. Then the water will not pass and the water will climb up and come out and then overflow the surface.
Thank
So
you
that
very
is
much,
the
sir.
problem.
So in other words, don't build on waterways, okay? And quickly, you just mentioned something very important right now, and we need to talk about it for those watching. You mentioned that since the rains or the flooding will be devastating this period. So where are those red zones that if you're living in these areas, you should be very, very watchful and careful?
Well, the studies have shown that we have 4 area councils that are prone to flooding. One is Amak, the second one is Boari, the third one is Kwali, and the fourth one is Gwagwalada. So all these areas. But that does not mean we cannot have flood in other areas.
Okay, but
Like
these are just the
like
red
we said,
spots.
yes. But these are the ones that are prone based on the studies. And in those area councils, there are different areas, hamlets, where these prone.
So can we
flood are
mention
there.
some of them?
Yes, we
know
have
them?
plenty of them. And in fact, if you go around, you will see our billboards. We have mounted billboards and signposts indicating, warning public that this is a flood-prone area because there are many. There are many.
All right.
Wow.
Thank you
Wow.
very much, sir, for coming to talk to us about that. Now we know that we shouldn't build on waterways, build according to plan, clean your environment, clear out all the blockages, and don't drive when it's raining heavily.
Very important. Like really, really
We
important.
have heard from the Director General of FEMA, and I really do hope that residents of the FCT will abide to these guidelines. Anyway, that is all we have for you on the flooding situation. But coming up next, we'll be talking about floral arrangements and the floral business in the FCT. Flowers play very important roles in expressing love and affection, and that's why right now we see them as a vital part of gifting. Not only for gifting, of course, but they are now used for weddings, events, and even beautification of homes. That's why on today's episode of Good Morning Abuja, we will be talking about flowers. And we have an artisan florist right now in the studio who will be talking to us about the floral business right here in the FCT. And her name is Douala Yaradua. She's the CEO of Fure by Furaya. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Abuja.
Good morning, Cynthia.
Good morning.
Good morning, Simone. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so generally, let's just start. How is the floral business in the FCT compared to other states, like maybe Lagos and other states in general?
Well, the floral business in Abuja FCT is actually a baby one. We have very few florists around that can give you that premium quality flowers, fresh cut flowers that you're looking for. So the competition is not quite there. The market is ready for the taking. There are a lot of opportunities once you market and you package your product well. I think it's exciting. It's new. There's a niche for it. There's a niche market. It's a luxury market, but there's definitely a market for it in Abuja.
So why did you become a florist? Like you said, it's a baby one. It's not something that is already thriving in the FCT. So why did you decide to go for that line of business?
Well, by nature, I'm an enthusiast.
Okay.
So naturally, I would appreciate the best of nature, which is flowers. They're elegant, they're beautiful to look at, and they have so many other uses in terms of medicinal, in terms of confectionaries for food, and so they're diverse. So the possibilities there are endless, if you see where I'm going.
Yeah.
But as a passionate florist, I decided to take it on because I enjoy it. It's my passion. And what's the famous saying by Mark Twain? Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
True.
So I love it, and I love the expressions of people when I give them the flowers. So I thought to myself, well, if economy of supply and demand kind of, demand outweighs supply, I can actually, make a box or two.
Okay, being a florist and you're an are there differences between being a florist and an artisan florist? Or they're one and the same?
Well, floriculture in whole is the science and art of cultivating and all the way down to producing and designing and packaging your flowers.
Okay.
So it is being an artisan florist is part of being a florist.
Okay.
It's just that your specialty is actually designing, and taking your time, paying attention to detail. Like personally, I like the Ikebana design, which is the Japanese art of designing flowers.
Okay.
So as an artisan florist, you would see I pay attention to making sure I capture the customer's vision, as it were, what they're trying to achieve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
you just spoke about, you spoke about the cultivating, that is the planting, right?
Yes.
Having to plant it, harvest it, and, decorate it, right?
Yes, yes.
So, in our society nowadays, we don't really see much of gardening. What would you say should be done concerning the art of gardening, considering that it used to be very popular in places like Jos,
Yes.
So should it be brought back, or, people can just go with the flow?
When you talk of gardening, again, you're talking about horticulture. Floriculture is a subsection of horticulture, and obviously the grander picture is agriculture, right?
Yeah.
So gardening actually, contrary to popular belief, is thriving in Abuja. All you need to do is go to Garki, go to all your highways. You see all these little gardens springing up. So they're gardening trees, not necessarily fresh cut flowers, because those are very delicate. They need a specific atmosphere in terms of preservation and shelf life. But gardens in general are actually very much around. I think we can expand on it. Yes, I believe the government can support the sector more. Bank of Industry can actually dedicate funds for such industries, because it is, contrary to popular belief, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry worldwide.
So the way you talk with so much enthusiasm, and it shows that you're experienced in this business. So did you get trained to be a florist?
Prior to establishing my company, I did go on training. I did have a series of training to become an artisan florist.
Okay.
So I can understand the techniques and how to best capture, because obviously you're trying to replicate something you've seen. So how to best capture it and to make it, stand and be presentable to your client. Okay. Yes, I did train, yes.
Wow, really, really nice. So quickly before we let you go, and you've stated, you talked about the business here in Abuja that is thriving. So do you think residents of Abuja really do value flowers? Because these days, women are like, you give a lady a flower, like, please keep your flowers to yourself.
The new trend now is people do bouquet of money.
So it's taking over flowers.
Well, we did a flower, a fourrée for loose bouquet, which we had, I can't say the amount. We had a naira and flowers arranged in the lady's first letter of her name, which was actually an F. So it came coincidentally with my company name, Fourrée. And it was absolutely gorgeous. People are willing to pay for that quality and that service. It's a luxury niche, if you can afford it, why not?
Okay, so Cynthia, anytime I give you flowers, please appreciate it. I spend a
I
lot.
need fake flowers. You give me artificial flowers.
Wow.
I need fresh cut flowers.
Really?
Can I just add, flowers, it's not just the looks and the colors and the smell. There's a therapeutic aspect to it that people overlook. In fact, in studies abroad in universities, proven theories that flowers can be used as a rehabilitative methods, even for PTSDs.
Oh, wow.
So flower therapy is a thing that exists, and we as a company are looking to explore all the avenues in terms of florism. Yeah.
Okay, aside that, now do flowers convey messages?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Flowers convey tons of messages.
Okay.
We have the romantic flower. Guess which one?
Rose.
Definitely. We have your flower that denotes purity, modesty. In some instances, it denotes, it's the lily. There are different types of lilies. And in different cultures, flowers have different meanings.
Yeah.
But for the majority of it, the lily denotes purity and modesty. Even in funerals, if you notice, you see a lot of lilies being arranged, the star-glazed lily. It just denotes that, the soul has been returned back to its pure form. That's what that is about. So, yeah.
I think this is so deep, like really, really deep.
I know, right? I'm tempted to ask what this flowers.
Don't worry, these ones are, these are
these are, I mean,
because she was excited. You
that
excited
there's some form of, you try. So this is a cherry blossom mimic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an artificial cherry blossom. In fact, I started importing similar to these back in 2012.
Wow.
So it's not just,
So what
like
does this symbolize?
This is a Chinese. The cherry blossom is a national flower in the Asian lands, and I have to do my research.
All right, thank you very much. I just needed to put you on the spot there. All right, so we're glad that you came on the program. It's really exciting, and I hope that Simeon would contact you for one or two things.
Cynthia, please don't bring this up on TV, please. I beg you, please. We've always been having this back and forth conversation about flowers and some other things which I don't want to say
now,
here.
my question, Cynthia, do you like flowers?
I do actually. I
You too?
actually do, yeah.
She doesn't. When I give her flowers, she doesn't. She's like, oh,
How
whatever.
many times have you given me flowers?
I'm giving you
Fresh
flowers.
cut flowers.
Have you ever given a gentleman flowers?
Yes, I think I have.
You think you have?
All right.
Anyway,
thank you
so
very
to all
much.
the ladies out there, please, it's not only the men giving flowers. Please also give us flowers too. We love flowers.
You deserve singlet and
Not
boxers.
boxer and singlets. Yeah? Thank you so much, Dowlat,
Thank
for
you.
coming on the
Thank
show. Really
you.
appreciate you.
So that's what all this is about.
Babe?
What is there to celebrate, Adair?
You're welcome back. This is still Good Morning Abuja. And of course, you just checked out the trailer of the short film, Silence. And amazingly, we have the producer as well as someone who acted in the movie right here in the studio. So let me officially introduce an actress and a producer, Mary Odera. Mary, good morning to you.
Good morning, and thank
I
you
do
for
love
having
your
me.
smile.
Thank you.
You've seen that? So, Mary, let's talk about the short film which you just saw now, Silence. What is the plot all about?
Okay, it's about something I'm passionate about. It's about gender-based violence,
Okay.
rape in particular. So I know that entertainment plays a huge part of our subconscious, and I'm passionate about this matter. So I thought, what's the best way that I can drive down a point without being pushy? So I said, let's do the movie.
Oh, okay. So, how was it like working on this particular story?
It was emotional. It was because it was difficult to actually bring it to life because this is my co-actor couldn't comprehend that it could be so difficult. Like, it's actually difficult to do this act. So I don't know how it's so common that the rape issue is so common in our society. But for us, it was difficult to bring it to life because I mean, it's traumatizing.
Okay, now let's talk about the movie industry. Now, from the perspective of Lagos, you know, you are based in Lagos and all. Just give us an idea or an overview of what you think the Abuja film industry looks like now.
Well, I think it's still very young. I'm still trying to blow in quotes.
Okay.
And I don't think that I want to live in Abuja because there are not so many opportunities. I feel like if a film is going to be shot in Abuja, most of the cast are imported from Lagos.
Oh, okay.
So if you're trying to build a career in film and television, I don't think that Abuja is the place to be. But of course, I think you guys have the resources.
Okay, which you guys come and tap from. Then you take
So
it
that's
to
why
the
you
back
import
to Lagos.
yourself.
Yeah, like I feel that the resources are actually very available here. Funds. So it's the
Are you
interest
hearing?
of
They'll
the
come and
people.
collect our money.
And move
And
to
carry it
Lagos.
to Lagos.
Okay, it's fine.
Then you
we
bring it back to
understand.
our cinema.
It's good,
Oh, wow,
So,
wow.
but if people are interested and they have the funds to finance productions, I mean,
In Abuja.
go all out. You have the terrain. There's everything. you
So,
need.
so what can you say can be attributed to the reason or the fact that Abuja entertainment industry, especially for the movies, is not thriving like the counterparts in Lagos?
Lagos. I think it's a Nigerian thing. Lagos is just the center of everything entertainment. So if we want the industry to grow faster here, we have to learn to diversify. Everybody who wants to act shouldn't be in Lagos. Producers who live in Abuja shouldn't be bringing in cast from Lagos.
No.
We should learn to grow our own talents from the location.
Yeah.
They are good people. There are people who can act in Abuja
Good
as well.
actors, I must tell
they
you.
are. So all you need to do is plan properly, get the best cast available, shoot a premium content, and then promote it.
Oh,
Okay. Now speaking about resources, on an average, how much will it cost to produce a short film?
It depends on so many things. You could have your location for free if you have a comfortable house. You can get actors, say a group of actors who are just trying to put out good work can come together so you don't have to pay them. Or if you have your equipment actually take the bulk of the budget for the movie. Yeah. So if you have your equipment and you have a lot of those things, you just need to cater for maybe food, and accommodation.
Okay, so lastly, what will be your advice to upcoming actors and actresses here in Abuja and
Like
producers like you? How can they do better, and how can we, project Abuja entertainment industry better and more?
Okay. The bottom line is if you're trying to do something, just go out and put out a little work. Do the best that you can do. That's what I did. I'm trying to break into the industry, so I can't keep waiting for the big leagues to pull me on. So if you have a little money, if you have friends who can do stuff, call them together, collaborate, do something. Just so if you're talking to somebody who is already established in the industry, you have something to back up. You're not just coming and saying, oh, I want to act, or I want to produce. So I've done something. This is what it is. So you can use that as
Well
think
done, I would say.
From
Well
all
done.
she said today, I just realized one that collaboration is very important
Very
in
important.
whatever business, acting, whatever sector you find yourself. Anyway, thank you so much, Odere, for coming on the
thank
show.
you for having me.
It's been an amazing time on Good Morning Abuja today, and special thank you for sticking around and staying glued to your TV screen as we brought to you amazing segments of the show. And special thank you to all our guests, the florists who came, and also to the DG of FEMA who took out time to talk to us about the flooding situation in the FCT. And also special thank you to the artists.
My name is Cynthia Benyogo, and if you have any business, event, seminars, good or services you want the residents of FCT to know about, this is a perfect platform for you.
My name is Simeon Sunday. Have a beautiful day.